of young children in the Senate, but almost every one of us here is a parent. And so you know that one of the most spectacular things your kid can do is to write you a letter. Sometimes, frankly, most of the time when I've gotten those letters, it's because my kid wants to protest something that I've done. I've gotten a few of those where my kids are so upset about a rule or a decision that we've made as parents that they sit down and they catalog their grievances on paper. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a nice letter. My in-laws have one still plastered up on their wall from their youngest daughter, who wrote them a nice list when she was young about the things she appreciated. But those dear mommy or dear daddy letters, that's one of the rare joys of parenthood. On March 6th, 2018, Patricia Verbeek awoke to find one of those letters for her, left by her child, Eric. It was laying on the pillow of his bed. She picked it up and she read it to herself. "Dear Mommy," her child wrote. Maybe her eyes twinkled, thinking of what sweet or funny thoughts might come next. But this is what the letter said. "Dear Mommy, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I have killed myself by jumping off the top floor, the 12th floor of your building, at the nearest stair exit to the elevators on that floor. I felt I could no longer live my life as a lie, living as a boy, instead of the girl I know I could become. I'm sorry I lied to you. I was losing hope in the world and could not see my way out of the wrong body. And I decided it was time for my life to end." As you might imagine, Patricia didn't get beyond that first line. Upon reading it, she dropped the letter and she ran straight to her balcony. And below, she saw the vague outline of a body and police officers surrounding it. I follow President Trump's family members on social media. I do it because I know how influential they are. I know how many Americans, good, decent Americans, admire them and listen to what they say. And lately, the posts from Trump's family members have just been of one theme. America should fear transgender children. The Trump family and their network of supporters and sycophants have decided that Eric Verbeek and other kids like them are the #1 problem facing America today. And over the past year, this crowd has orchestrated a relentless and unceasing campaign to marginalize, demonize, and bully kids whose gender identity is different from their biological sex. Mr. President, this year alone, Republican state legislators across the country have introduced 150 bills to deny rights to transgender Americans. Today, the Alabama legislature introduced legislation that is fast-tracked, from what I understand, to become law, that makes it a felony for a doctor to provide health care to a transgender child. In Texas, the governor directed his child welfare agency to investigate parents like Patricia who are simply determined to support their children if they help them secure the gender-affirming treatment that they need. Criminalizing parents of transgender children is just around the corner in some states. In Congress, Trump's allies spend more time talking about transgender kids than they spend time talking about health care or taxes or education. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, perhaps Trump's best ally in the House, had a sign outside her office calling the experience of trans people a fiction just to bully her hallway neighbor, Representative Marie Newman, who has a transgender daughter. And in the Supreme Court hearings here last month, at least one senator used their time on the national stage to suggest that the entire idea of being transgender is a left-wing hoax.